All right, so for all of you wanting to get ready for a mountain bike ride and we're dealing with a little bit of lower back tightness or some hip flexor issues, let's go ahead and open that space up, right? We're gonna be working a lot of tension through this area specifically and even our shoulders. So we're gonna do a little bit of a mobility exercise to get you started. And if you have like a yoga mat, we can put something on the ground or a towel. But starting on the ground is good. I want you to be in a shin box position. And what we're going to do in this shin box position is we're just going to get our butt bones as best we can on the ground. Use our hands to sit as tall as we can. And I want you to rock your pelvis back and forth. So I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to anteriorly tilt. That means I'm going to stick my ass out. And then as I exhale, I'm just gonna sink back and sit on this back hip. So we'll start here. Using your breath as the guide. And really feel like you're rolling and rocking this pelvis. And again, how many you do is relative to how much you feel you need. So if you feel like you need a lot of reps there, you can keep doing that. We're just going to do about 5 to 10 on each of these just to kind of get things going. Okay, so same thing here. Nice and tall, switching sides. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, push the ass out. And we're just getting some chi, some blood flow into the hip area. Really rocking, and then when I exhale, sitting back on this hip, like I'm actually rotating my pelvis back. So inhale, come up, anterior tilt, exhale, sink. Good. And now I want you to sit in a bear stance position. That means legs are going to be out fully and knees are going to be pushing out. I'm going to sit tall using my arms to help my spine stay tall here. And then I'm just going to inhale and then exhale, bring in one knee. The other leg is still the other leg is just holding that external rotation, right? So it's not moving yet. We're just pulling out as far as we can. Inhale, pull in. Again, using my breath. Inhale, exhale. And how you know you're going too far with your hip mobility, if I go here and my butt lifts off, then for this stretch it's too much. So trying to go just as far as you can internally like this without your butt bone leaving the ground. Okay. Good, a couple like that. Good. And now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna swap sides. So I'm gonna go windshield wiper now. So now I am gonna lift that hip and push through. So when I say push through, that means the back leg is now adding pressure to the ground and I can lift up and open up into that hip flexor a bit. Inhale, exhale. I like keeping my shoulders locked back. So the only thing that's rotating is my lower body. Good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring our legs in like a shin box. So that means that this top leg is, or this top foot is on this thigh, and then the back foot is actually laying down flat. And we're just gonna sit tall here. And what I wanna do is I just wanna go ahead and rock forward without my spine rounding, right? So again, just moving through the hip and then pulling back. You'll feel the stretch down the glute minimus, which is that lateral side, more lateral side of the glute. You're going to feel it potentially in the IT band. And that's what we want. Good. And then we're going to swap sides. And we're going to do the same thing. So push forward and then come back. And you want to be leaning over this knee. You can kind of manipulate that, because if I kind of shift my body weight and hover when I get here over that knee, you can feel where the more tighter line is. So adjust that angle if needed. If you need to go more back, do that. And again, using breath, because the breath is what's allowing the body to know that this is safe, right? We're trying to open and create space in the hips and more blood flow. So we're just wanting these muscles to be prepared to do work, is what we're trying to do here with this stretching. Okay, so I want you to stay in the shin box, and what we can do with the shin box is I want you to anchor your hands behind you, punch your knees down, and stretch your shoulders back, and then come back down. Just a gentle pulse forward. And I'm trying to create tension in both knees when I do this. And what that does is obviously open up the hip flexor. At least that's what I'm feeling. So squeezing the butt really helps right here. So breathing in. And then exhale. Breathe in as you rise up. Exhale. Good. Let's do the other side. So it's holding that same posture, that same position. And we're just going to go ahead, punch down. Pulling the shoulder blades back too. So this is like a 2-in-1. Opening up the chest a little bit, which is also good for our shoulders. Activating the back, squeezing the shoulder blades and the rhomboids together. Yeah, so here, squeeze my butt, squeeze my shoulders, let it go. Okay, and now let's go ahead, get into a half kneeling stance. And what we're gonna do here is open up this hip flexor more. So I want you to anteriorly tilt your hip, and then I want you to squeeze your butt. And when I squeeze my butt, I'm gonna get more of a pull. I don't need to hyperextend my back to do that. I just want to keep my lower back neutral, and I want to continue opening up this hip. So we're going to open up and then exhale, squeeze the butt. So rocking back and forth. And there's not a lot of this motion. It is really just isolating, again, the attachment and the insertion, other way around. Okay, so insertion and attachment of the psoas muscle itself. And if you feel a good stretch here, I want you to take your outside hand while you do this. And as I squeeze my butt, I'm going to create tension here and then release. So tuck my tailbone and create tension, and you'll feel even more of a stretch. Good. One more. Good. Let's do the other side. So getting that 90-90. You can put this hand behind you like this, so it kind of anchors your shoulders, stacking over your hip, squeezing this hip. And now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start with a couple, sticking my ass out, tucking my tailbone. Oh yeah, there we go. Breathe in, exhale, open. And really choose a breath pattern that feels good for you. You can breathe in here and exhale, or you can inhale and exhale. Either way, as long as you're following your breath. Okay, so now let's add a little more pressure. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rock back, no pressure. Now tuck the tailbone and then push to the inside of this knee. Not so hard that I lose that balance, but where you feel more tension down the side. Again. Hold. Good. It's good to hold for about at least 2 to 3 counts. So squeeze, tension, release, squeeze, and release. Good. Awesome. Let's go ahead and just do our adductor stretch. So sticking my ass out and then tucking my tailbone here. Okay. So reach. And then as I come up, tuck my tailbone. And you can twist right to left. Add a little more fun movement. So reach and then squeeze. And when I do this, make sure I'm not flaring through my thoracic spine. I'm going to reach and then I'm going to pull in, tuck the tailbone, and keep everything in alignment, right? So squeezing the shoulder blades back. Reach, squeeze. Squeeze. One more. And squeeze. Good. Other side. Reach. Squeeze. So when I'm squeezing here, shoulder, hip, knee are in alignment. My core is not out like this. So keep the ribs packed and actually feel like your lower abs are pulling in. Good. My glutes are squeezing as tight as possible. Right, this end range right there. Reach. And then squeeze. Yeah, good. And then let's just get here in a half kneeling. And I want you to go ahead, hug yourself. Let's do a spinal car. So up, breathe. And then exhale. Good. Reverse. And with a tall kneeling spinal car, I want to make sure my hips aren't going back. So try to keep the hips pushing forward. So glutes on, okay? I'm just going to round my back and stretch it. Twist, lean, and then roll back. Elbows to the sky. And then do the twist and lean on the other side. Come back. Good, other side. Keep the glutes squeezing. Oh, yeah, one more. All right, awesome. All right, hands on all fours. And now we're just going to rotate the spine. So that rotational cat-camel, I'm pretending I'm rolling my tailbone in a circle. You can kind of move your spine in all directions here and then go the other way. Good. And then we're just going to do a couple hip extensions to activate the glute. Legs in 90-90. I'm just going to pull up and pull back in. I just want to squeeze my glute. If I go any more than that, it becomes my lower back. And you'll feel that. So just enough to where you feel the glute turn on. And once you do 5 to 10 of those, then I just want you to bring it around like a hurdle stretch. And then go the other way. I'm building some heat in that hip. Okay? We're going to go the other side. Raise it up. Good. Keeping that leg at 90. Just engaging the glute. And then sweep it around like a hurdle stretch. And then reverse. Good. And then give me a downward dog. And kind of pedal the heels. Open the calves. Push through the shoulders. Oh, and then slowly walk up.